Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Where am I? To the afternoon desk. Today we're joining BJ Investigates, or BJ from That Surprise Witness. She has two channels. She's one of my favorites, and she's talking about Britney Spears on probation for 12 months for DUI. I don't even think she blew past .08 or .8. She's going to give us that information. I'm a long fan of Free Britney. Never made any sense to me how one of those Kardashians, the one with the lip stuff, what was her name? Kendall? Kylie? Had $1 billion from a lip product when Britney Spears has had 25 years of success in music. Some of the best books, studio albums, one after the other, we've all enjoyed for all that time. And Britney Spears comes out with $60 million at the end of the day. But that Jenner girl had $1 billion. Lou Taylor involved. She tried to sue BJ, and that's how I found BJ. So let's just see what she has to say. Because she didn't show up in court.
Well, Britney Spears is on probation, even though the prosecutors didn't prove a damn thing. And this is all while the people who ficked Britney Spears are walking free and apparently still making statements to the media. We live in hell. This is a sad day for freedom. Let me pull up the New York Times the New York Times article that they already had time to write. Britney Spears pleads guilty to reckless.
I'm already noticing that BJ's lips are not moving in sync with the sound. I wonder who's involved in that. Don't you notice how these videos seem to get scrambled and modified and screwed up and a little bit harder to watch whenever someone's reporting on these people? Let's see who she ends up talking about to see who's responsible for that fuckery.
Driving after DUI charge. But you know what's interesting to me? Britney wasn't there. Doesn't this kind of sort of stink like in a familiar sort of way? Kind of like whenever Britney was trafficked for 13 years and most court dates she was kept isolated from being able to go to court. How do we know for sure that Britney Spears actually did plead guilty? How do we know for sure that this Goldstein or Stein or Steen or whoever in the hell this guy is? You know what's really starting to piss me off? The Jay-Z's of the world, the Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs of the world, the David Anthony Burks of the world, hell, even the Megan Thee Stallions of the world. They can afford these lawyers. I would assume that Britney Spears has more money than all of them, perhaps even combined. And somehow, some way, she gets the Rosengarts and the Goldsteins that seem to not really give a flying rat's ass about actually protecting this woman's rights. For example, she is going to have to be on probation for the next 12 months. Again, I don't even know if Britney really did plead guilty. I mean, this little Steen and Stein, he was up here not taking any questions from the media. I don't know who the hell this guy is. I don't know where in the fuck he came from. But all I know is it was reported that Britney Spears did not go to court. So how do I know she pled guilty? Why is it that Britney Spears is the only person in the world who doesn't have to show up for court even though they're supposed to? Even though you're supposed to show up to court, she didn't even enter in her own plea. It's very weird to me. It's very freaking weird to me. Can we get a Mark Agnifilo? Can we get a Alex Spiro? Can we get a Brian Steele? Those demons like to take up for people who clearly already are bad people, but nobody is out here taking up for Britney Spears, and I, for one, am getting pretty sick and tired of it.
Isn't Spiro Jay-Z's lawyer? That guy's one of the most disgusting, atrocious human beings, I think, upon information and belief, just my opinion, as BJ likes to say. Just my opinion, from what I've heard. That Spiro lawyer, she's better off without him. But they wouldn't be. Doesn't seem like they are.
Part of a plea deal, she will serve 12 months probation and be forced into a 3-month substance abuse program and pay a modest fine. Now, before we even move even one step further, Britney Spears' ex, Justin Timberlake, just recently, this year, made the same plea deal. He was charged with DUI and he decided to plead to reckless driving. Exact same plea deal. Now, yes, it was in a different county, it was a different state. But you know what Justin Timberlake got? He got a $500 fine and 25 hours of community service, and he didn't get a driver's license for 3 months. Okay. Meanwhile, Britney Spears got to be on probation for a year. And to hear TMZ tell it, Britney is going to be forced to go to the psychiatrist twice a month, or perhaps twice a week, but I think it's twice a month. She's going to be forced to submit to raids on her home at any given time. So at any given time, the police can swat through her home and ransack the place just to look for drugs. This is not freedom. And I'm getting sick and freaking tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. If Britney violates any law, litters, jaywalks, speeds 5 miles over the speed limit, she could go to jail. This is not freedom. This is not freedom. And Britney is not free. I'm just saying it with my full chest. She's not free. Why the hell was she not at her own court date this morning? That's very weird to me. She used to not be at her own court dates whenever she was in the conservatorship, and it's just starting to make me wonder. Did these slave owners and these money changers just take over her life indefinitely? And okay, fine, she's not technically in a conservatorship anymore, but now this is just another way to just control her. Why is it that nobody else gets treated like this? Nobody else gets treated like this. She's going to be on probation for a freaking year? Bam Margera didn't even get that. Britney has never committed a crime. Britney has never been found guilty by a jury of any crime ever. And they're saying that she pled guilty to this, but I didn't see it. I didn't hear it, and from what I'm told, Britney Spears wasn't even at court. Something stinks here, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. She'll avoid further jail time after pleading guilty on Monday to reckless driving involving alcohol, drugs, or both. But here's the thing. They're putting it like Britney was supposedly going to be facing all this jail time, but now she's going to avoid more jail time. No, hold on, no. We already know Britney didn't blow above the legal limit. She was below the legal limit. We don't know who them medications in that car was for. We don't know. It could have been her deadbeat little sons that are taken after. Maybe it was her son's Adderall in there. These are the questions that a good lawyer, not Goldstein or whoever it is that's representing her, a good lawyer would have asked. A good lawyer would have said, oh, hell no. We're not pleading guilty and infringing on my client's rights. Can we get Jay Oma to represent Britney Spears? Because at this point, I think that fool would do a better job than these high dollar, highfalutin money changers that Britney has had. We get Matthew Rosengart and whoever in the hell Goldstein instead of people that are actually going to defend Britney Spears' rights. It is actually high time for somebody, some lawyer with some gonads to come out here and actually stand up for this woman. It's ridiculous. The lawyer entered a plea on Britney's behalf. Again, how do we know Britney wanted to plead guilty? How do we know she's not being held literally hostage in a rehab right now? Because it's happened before.
Of course she
be on probation for 12 months and complete a 3-month substance abuse program, probably at her own expense, plus pay $571 to the money changers who run the government. She was sentenced to 1 day in jail, but she was credited for time served. When prosecutors charged her last week, they didn't say what drugs she might have taken. You want to know why they didn't say which drugs she might have taken? Because she wasn't found to have taken any. If she would have taken these drugs, we would have heard about it.
You bet.
We would have heard about it just like we hear about every damn other thing else. She farts in the wrong direction and we freaking hear about it. After the hearing, her lawyer, Michael A. Goldstein, declined to comment. Well, I guess he did. I bet he motherfucking did. I wonder who really hired him, because I can almost guarantee you it wasn't Britney Spears. Where did Michael Goldstein come from, and can he crawl back into the hole wherever it was? This is ridiculous. It's about high time that somebody come and protect Britney Spears' rights, because none of these money changers have done it so far. Commissioner Matthew Niemerson, who's overseeing the case, ordered that Britney may possess drugs only with a valid prescription and must visit a psychologist weekly. The government is deciding how much Britney Spears goes to the doctor, and that same government that decided to charge her for DUI and infringe upon her rights without any proof, or with very little proof, they haven't decided to charge her traffickers. Don't you think that's interesting? Not one single criminal has been charged. Not one trafficker of Britney Spears has been charged. Not one money changer that made millions or billions of dollars off of Britney Spears has been charged. Not one. She characterized her treatment as sex trafficking. She said they were trying to kill her. And these bum fucks are sitting over there in California charging Britney Spears when they don't even really have proof that she was driving under the influence. And they're having Michael A. Goldstein come up to the court and plead guilty on the behalf of Britney Spears. The judge doesn't even lay eyes on her. This sounds familiar.
Sure does.
It stinks. It smells like a rotting corpse, if you ask me. Where is Britney Spears?
Where's
Where
my
the
nose?
hell is Britney Spears? And why can't she get one lawyer worth of shit? That's what I want to know. I'm getting about sick and tired of this, and I'm tired of biting my tongue. She was arrested in March. When somebody called and snitched. Somebody called and said, oh, there's a BMW driving erratically. And then the stalkers on the LAPD and the California Highway Patrol stalked Britney, in my opinion, hunted her down like an animal, and arrested her even though she was below the legal limit. In 2007, look, they can't get through a single dam. They can't get through
Not only arrested her, even though she was below the legal limit, kept her overnight. Britney Spears.
damn article without reminding us that 20 years ago, Britney had a crash out with an umbrella. Why is it that nobody else's past follows them around like Britney Spears? I told y'all in my video that I made this morning, but I'm going to say it again. I recorded a 2-hour-long video, and it is coming out very soon on BJ Investigates. 2 hours long the video is, and it's all about how the media has unfairly, that's not even my opinion, in fact, unfairly portrayed Britney Spears all of these years. And it isn't just, in compared to men, although you can do that. And it isn't just, in compared to other races or other professions or other careers within the entertainment industry. It's like compared to literally everyone, Britney gets the worst coverage. You got TMZ over there basically acting like she still needs to be in a conservatorship. Why is Tiger Woods not in a conservatorship? Why is Justin Timberlake not in a conservatorship? Can somebody ask me that? Somebody answer me that question? Everybody else gets to make mistakes. Everybody else gets to live and learn. But when it's Britney Spears, it's probation for 12 months and the prosecutors didn't even prove shit? Something stinks about this.
Again.
A judge determined the conservatorship. The judge terminated the conservatorship after 13 years. The unconstitutional conservatorship that was based on lies. They said she had dementia. They said Britney had dementia. She did not. Okay. They issued a correction, but by the time I read this article, the correction was already there. And like I said, TMZ is over there squawking and arfing like seals. Like, they're so excited that Britney Spears' rights got taken away. They're over there basically like advocating for the conservatorship to continue going on. I don't like this. I think something's very seriously wrong with it. And I'm kind of like sick and tired of people being able to plead down. Why is it that you can allow the government to impose medical circumstances upon you for a year instead of just going to jail? Well, they just give her the jail time. How much time? At this point, no. If Michael Goldstein was my lawyer, I'll be telling him to get his ass back up over there and tell them I did not plead guilty. It's ridiculous. They should have made the government prove their case. 12 months of probation is draconian. Meanwhile, Justin Timberlake lost his license for 3 months and had to pay a fine and do some community service. It's ridiculous. Justice for Britney, free Britney. Where is Britney? I'm getting ready to start Free Britney 3.0. I'm sick and tired of this.
Yeah, I'm with you. Bye.
There is a bombshell CNN investigation.